Pop, pass me some of that cornbread. Boy. Look, this here, this is the best cornbread I done ever had.
Well, that's the best anything you ever have. Ain't that right, Mama?
I'm not making the sweet potato pie this year, Junior.
Mama, it's the holidays. The holidays without sweet potato pies like the Cowboys with no Dak. Christmas with no Jesus.
Did you just reduce Jesus to a sweet potato pie?
You know what I'm saying. It's essential.
Well, if it's so essential, get in there and make it yourself. I'm tired and I'm done.
Mama, this is what you do, though. What else you got to do?
Boy, don't you disrespect me. I got plenty to do.
Like what? You gotta watch the news? Or you gotta iron your linens? Or you gotta put your coins in the corn roller? No, wait. You gotta go down to the end of the driveway and get your newspaper.
Boy, you not too old.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, baby.
Woo, say about the nail. Hey, baby girl.
Hey, Daddy. Oh, Grandma, it smells so good in here. What is that?
Oh, thank you.
Sweet potato pie is one thing you don't smell.
Boy, shut up and leave me alone. I said I don't feel like making it this year. I'm not gonna make it.
Well, don't you worry about a thing, Grandma. You just rest yourself. I'll make the sweet potato pie.
Father, if she do the cooking, we all gonna be laid to rest.
Shut up, Marlon. I can cook now.
Now, baby girl, you don't just wake up and can cook. Y'all remember when she made those, what they call, monkey drops?
The bread pudding.
It was monkey bread, y'all.
But it was extra sweet and soggy.
See what I mean?
Y'all stop clowning on my baby. Don't you worry about it, honey. I'll give you that recipe. I'm sure you'll do just fine. That was once a time I didn't know how to cook either.
Yeah, right, Grandma. I bet you were born frying chicken and shucking corn.
Maybe, but not by choice. I had to help my grandmother Gammy. She worked 7 days a week, feeding three kids and two adults on $5 a week. Yes, indeed. You think I wanted to be a domestic specialist? No. No, ma'am, no, sir. But back then, you did what you had to do to make it.
Yeah, Mama. I was telling Danielle they don't know how good they have it.
I told you, Daddy, I'm grateful for everything you do.
We know you're grateful, baby, but it seemed like you don't recognize the sacrifices that were made so that you can live the life you live now.
Well, we would know these things if you ever shared them with us.
I don't want to bore you or live in the past. We need to keep moving forward as a people. Things have changed.
And by change, I assume you mean they've gotten worse.
No, it's gotten better from my perspective. Mama, you remember when Daddy took us to that sanitation worker rally?
Do I remember? We almost died.
Are you talking about the strike that got Dr. King killed?
I think it was more than that killed Dr. King.
Grandma, why would you take the kids to something like that?
Me and your aunts were already involved. We talked about it at school all the time. Plus, it was trash everywhere. It smelled horrible. If you were living in Memphis in 1968, black, white, or brown, you were involved in the strike whether you wanted to be or not.
It was supposed to be a peaceful march. Can you imagine if 1,300 men walked out of a job today? Any job.
Wow, was that all of them?
Just about.
How long did the strike last, Grandma?
I can't remember.
How could you forget something like that, Grandma?
Well, better question is, how did y'all eat?
Well, we had the money I would bring in from cleaning, so we survived.
Daddy didn't make any money anyway. It was basically indentured servitude, glorified plantation work.
He was always tired. It just about broke him the day those two men died on the back of that truck.
Oh, died in the truck?
Yeah. They got inside the back of the truck to take cover from the rain, and the operator didn't know they were back there. He activated the compactor, they got trapped, and died.
But we were united, and we kept our money in our pockets.
See, me and Nell, we need to know stuff like this.
I got tons of stories I never told you to about things me and your aunts went through growing up.
Why are you bragging about that?
It's not bragging, baby. It's the truth. I got tons of stories I never told your father.
I don't get that. We need to know our history.
Knowing or not knowing doesn't change what you need to do every morning. Keep your head in the books. Get your education.
Oh, now, we see where keeping your head in the books will get you. I got 2 degrees, and I'm still struggling. And to make it all worse, Donald Trump is now the president of the United States of America.
Baby, Donald Trump has always been president of the United States of America.
What do you mean, Grandma?
I mean, his ideas have been voted into office for centuries. He's just bold enough to articulate them.
I don't know where all the support came from. I mean, the man is not even a politician.
Shoot, if I was voting for Donald Trump, I would have hid too.
Let me walk into a hospital and say, look, I don't have any experience, but I would like to apply to be a doctor.
Trump, Hillary, or Donald Duck, you millennials have it made. That you give up so easy.
Millennials have it made. Dad, are you hearing yourself right now?
Oh, yeah. What have y'all gone through?
Let's see. Have you heard of Trayvon Martin, Laquan McDonald, Sandra Bland, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile?
Those two happened in the same week, Daddy.
We got Eric Garner, we got Freddie Gray, we got Michael Brown.
All right, we get the picture.
Look, that's not even half the names, Pops.
These are scenarios that are not happening to either one of you. Would you run from the police? Better yet, would you even be in a scenario where a confrontation gave you the need to get away? No, you were raised better.
Wait, so let me get this straight. You believe that proper upbringing excludes you from racism? Or you've never been racially profiled?
I'm sure I have. But when I open my mouth, I demand respect. And respect is what I get.
I do agree with your father on that. Pulling up your pants and tucking in your girls goes a long way, and I know I'm right about it.
No, you can't use that argument, Grandma. I mean, people have been a reflection of their respective cultures for ages. That ain't never protected nobody.
Exactly. Okay, Grandma, look at it this way. I know in the 50s you didn't wear your girls or your legs out, but that didn't stop them from hosing you down with water hoses. And Daddy, I've never seen your pants an inch below your chin level. But do you really think that would stop some white racist, trigger-happy cop from shooting you if your respect gets in the way of his ego?
But that also doesn't mean those misguided cops deserve to lose their lives. Young people have taken deplorable measures in the name of blackness and justice, hogwash. My God said it best. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense, and their foot shall slide. And everything unto them make haste. 32 Deuteronomy, that's what it said.
Yeah, we agree with all that, Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma, the cops didn't deserve to die.
But that don't stop me from asking, when will God make haste to help us? Look, we've seen 400 years of oppression.
When and how the Lord chooses to take vengeance is his business alone. He gave to us to handle our own business. We have to see everything in front of us as a people and seize every opportunity to become all that God has made us to be.
What opportunities, Dad? You can't see that slavery still exists, can you? They have just successfully made each chapter of oppression sweet enough so that the oppressed forget how bad the last chapter was.
Son, I haven't forgotten a thing.
You raised us to be good Christians, but you've forgotten a central component of our faith, and that's your neighbor.
Watch what you say next, son.
Marlon?
No, because see, you talk about my generation not doing anything. But what about your generation making it and not looking back? You all made education and success an idol. And then you left poor, uneducated black folks for white nonprofits to figure out. And then you ask me why I choose to go worship with all those white folks. Look, Pops, I refuse to sit by and let this stuff continue to happen. I bet you haven't even watched the videos of these killings, have you?
Why would I do that, son? I don't want to see them.
Because you think you're better than them, huh?
Because I have to believe I'm better.
Okay, you guys, look. Marlon, Dad isn't to blame for the entire plight of the black community, okay? And Dad, our generation is just as woke as yours was, okay? Y'all, can we please not have this conversation like this? It's not productive.
And if it'll make you two feel better, one of you go to the store and get me some real sweet potatoes. I'll make the pie. Lord have mercy.
Right.
Thank you, Granny.
I can't believe those kids. The people that I raised. I'm blind and I've forgotten my faith. I haven't forgotten a thing. If they only knew what it was like for me not to constantly love and hug them with kisses, and they just don't understand. If they only knew what it was like. See, their mother died when they were 10 and 14. Breast cancer. We were the best team. But I can't give up because she's not here. I have to work harder in pushing them to greatness because she's not here. The most memorable time in my life was watching my dad carry that sign that said, "I am a man." He risked everything he had to proclaim his manhood to a world that called and treated him not only like a boy, but less than human. I am a man. I come from a time of resilience and revolution. I've never had the luxury to be angry or mourn too long. I come from an era where artists created art about what we were doing at the time. The revolution will not be televised because the revolution will be live. Brothers used to actually write about what we were doing. And that's all I'm trying to instill in my grown children. Do something. They may not understand me today, but I could just pray that one day they look back and see in me the man that my daddy groomed me to be.
I tried to make the pie. But I was tired, and I had my neighbor carry my groceries for me this year. See, I use real sweet potatoes. I clean them, I peel them, and I bake them. But this year she said the store ran out, so she brought me these canned sweet potatoes. I go to open them, and something about the smell in the can all together take me all the way back. See, my father was a sharecropper. And that means we were a sharecropping family. We worked for our rent, and we didn't receive any pay. Seems miserable, but we were happy until the Great Depression hit. Black folk were losing their jobs faster than any other race. No one was buying crops, and cotton had dropped to an unlivable wage. Needless to say, we got evicted. So we moved with my grandmother Gammy. She cooked and cleaned for this family in the servant quarters and only had one room. But me and my mom and my dad were just happy to have a place to lay our head. And the master in the big house loved canned candy yams. So one day Gammy had me in the kitchen whipping up a batch for a party that they were going to have that night. And my father didn't come home the night before, which was unusual, but I guess I never paid too much attention to it. I was on my 8th or 9th can when my mother ran in hysterically yelling, my father had been lynched. The kids want to know about our past so badly. On one end, it's too horrific to go back. But that can make me remember. And that is why I couldn't make the pies with canned sweet potatoes.
Southern peace, barren, strange fruit, blood on the leaves, and blood at the roots. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South. Them big bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. a sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck. For the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop. Here is strange and bitter. Cry.